to thank you for this parley. While it was what caused the addition of two sujood in the two rak'ahs was the recitation of verses that contain sujood. In Islamic jurisprudence, in Salah, or in Ulum al-Quran, the science of the knowledge of the Quran, while reciting the Quran, there are chapters which contain verses which, if you read them to prostrate, you make a sujood. It is a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When you read them, then you go for sujood. Many of them in Surah Al-Isra, in Surah Maryam, in Surah Al-Hajj, in Surah Al-Najm, and so on and so forth. There are many of them. Therefore, if you read them, it is recommendable that you now, after having read them, to now fall down on your face in sujood. And then you raise up and you continue with one ayah or two, then you make ruku'. Now, in Surah Al-Isra, where we specifically used to make the sujood, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبالحق أنزلناه وبالحق نزل وما أرسلناك إلا مبشرا ونذيرا وقرآنا فرقناه لتقرأه على الناس على مكث ونزلناه تنزيلا قل آمنوا به أو لا تؤمنوا إن الذين أوتوا العلم من قبله إذا يتلى عليهم يخرون للأذقان سجدا ويقولون سبحان ربنا إن كان وعد ربنا لمفعولا ويخرون للأذقان يبكون ويزيدهم خشوعا. If you read up to this, what it said, that those who were given knowledge before the generation of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if the Quran is rehearsed to them, fall on their foreheads in prostration to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and they say, glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed the promise of Allah will be established, and the fall on their forehead crying, it increases them in righteousness. No. So when you read this, then it is recommendable that straight away you say Allahu Akbar and you make sujood, and you raise up and say Allahu Akbar, then you read one or two verses, then you make ruku'. Jurisprudentially, according to ulama, there are two schools of thought. Some said it is even fard. It is wajib. It is wajib that you have to make that sujood. And there are a lot among the Salaf who uphold to this. So many of them are of this opinion, including Ibn Taymiyyah in Majmu' al-Fatawa said it's fard, it's wajib. It is not optional. But according to others said, no, it is but mustahab. It is sunnah and mustahab. If you do it, it's okay. If you didn't do it, there's no problem. There is a sign in the mushaf. And because we don't read from the mushaf, all Muslims are supposed to know the Quran. Ignorugia juris non excusat. According to this maxim in the English law, that ignorance of law is not an excuse. You cannot, because you don't know, then you say, why is this? Why is it confusing? How can you say sujood is confusing? It is never confusing. You are supposed to know. All of us, we go to schools, we graduate, we do this and so on. People read the Constitution, memorize the Constitution. Today, I tell you, people read social media. In 3 days, they read more than the pages of the Quran. Some read more than the pages of the Quran every day. And they feel it is mandatory for them to do it. In even lies, fabrications. But it is the book of Allah that they want religion to be according to how they dictate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, if you don't know, it is not an excuse. 90% of those who pray in Haram don't see the Imam. 90% don't see him. As it was in An-Noor Masjid also, people that were behind me were going down and going down. As there was no problem. Well, anyway, you see, I think it is time that religiosity should move to higher level of knowledge. That I think this will move a lot of our brothers and sisters to now say, okay, since there is this sujood, where are they? And how are they being done? And so on and so forth.